Thank you once again for making Locked On Cougars your first listen of the day. All right, time to let you guys get to know another BYU player. This time, it's Kyle Sfarcioc. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, this guy came into BYU as a transfer from Southern Utah. There was some thought he could maybe end up as a starting guard for BYU, and that very well may end up being the case because, as Aaron Roderick said yesterday, they are likely to be without Waylon Lapuaho in this week's game. He said there's 6 to 7 offensive linemen he thinks are capable of being along that starting offensive front. And one of those 6 to 7 is probably headlined by Waylon Lapuaho. But a guy like Kyle Sfarcioc, if Waylon is indeed unavailable, that allows Sfarcioc to slot in and play, potentially, and maybe even start in his first game as a BYU Cougar. Well, I had a chance to catch up with him because I thought he had a unique perspective. He once upon a time, as you'll hear, played for Southern Utah against BYU at LaVell Edwards Stadium. He'll tell you about his experience with that, but more importantly, the mindset that FCS players like he once upon a time had when it comes to playing against teams the caliber of BYU, and also talks a little bit about Bear Bachmeier, LJ Martin, and a whole lot more in an exclusive conversation right here on Locked On Cougars. Kyle, I want to start off by looking at where you've come from. You come up from the FCS level, and you're playing an FCS opponent this week. What's the mentality when you are playing at that level about going against teams like a BYU who are up a division?
You got to do all the little things right, you know? Like, you got to give a lot of effort. So I'm expecting these guys to have a lot of effort just because, like, being an FCS O-lineman previously, like, you have to give effort at that level to get noticed in any manner. So, yeah, I got to expect good effort from these guys and a lot of good plays by them, and it's going to be a fun game.
Did you ever play PSU when you were down there at SUU?
I did not.
Okay, so you're not necessarily as familiar with their schemes. What have you seen on film from them?
A lot of quick movement,
okay,
and a lot of grit. So they're really gritty. Just because FCS don't have much, but
sure,
you got to do what you got. So,
well, you talk about the gritty and the quickness because they have to counter some of the size, I would imagine, with that speed, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Just because of the grit.
Now, in terms of your transition here to BYU, just overall, how's it been?
It's been good. A lot of fun. It's really, really good here, and the team is awesome, and it's been fun working with everybody. So it's been good.
Did you know much about BYU in high school during your time at SUU? Like, what was your familiarity level with it?
I didn't really know BYU when I was in high school. They thought of recruiting me during COVID, and that didn't work out. And then ended up going to SUU, and I remember thinking about the Utah schools. Like, we got Weber, Utah Tech, then Utah, then BYU. Yeah. And I always knew Utah just because it's the state name. And then BYU, I was like, okay, because we would watch film at SU about BYU and how they would run all these good schemes back in 2-3 years ago, and everyone runs BYU's offense. Yeah. It's a lot of people have taken it, so that's how I learned about BYU, which is pretty cool.
What sold you on BYU when you entered the portal and they started recruiting you then?
I would say Kalani and the mindset of the team.
Okay.
We're gonna attack football, we're also gonna attack being a good person off the field, and I think that's what really got me was that you can be have that high tier athletic ability, but off the field it's what can you do to be a good person. So that's what made me want to come here, and the staff's amazing, the boys here are amazing, so I think BYU is the best choice out of the portal.
In terms of your position, you're an interior offensive lineman playing center, playing guard. Do you have a preferred position, or do you just want to play?
Just want to play.
Okay.
Anyway.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to a game at LaVell Edwards Stadium?
I played there.
Okay, so you came up a few years back. Okay.
Yeah.
What was the experience like being on the other sideline?
It was good. I came in there okay, let's beat these guys. Give everything I got. They obviously don't think I could play at this level. Mm-hmm. So it was pretty cool because you don't really hear, I was okay, it's not that loud. Then it got backed up, and I felt like my quarterback was in the stands. So I was okay, that was pretty loud, but I don't know, it was awesome. The fact that it was that loud at noon, I was pretty impressed. And it was just cool because a lot of people on the team grew up in Utah talking about BYU, and being able to go up there and play, it was pretty fun. So
I want to circle back to something you said. You said that SUU has watched film of BYU. What about their scheme was what you guys were watching? Was it run fits? Was it passing game? What was it?
Yeah, just a lot of passing game. As you know, when other players watch other teams' films, it's all on the film room. So we would pull film from any team you could think of, and we would just watch it. And that's how you try to do what they do.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's not going to be as good. But, yeah, we would just watch BYU's O-line and how they would run certain plays, and we would try to replicate that for our offense and go off from there. So,
you played in front of a really, really good running back last year in Targy Lamson.
Yep.
Where do you think that he would stack up with against a guy like LJ Martin?
Targy, he's a gritty dude. I remember we're in the huddle. Someone keeps chopping him, and he's like, I'm going to hurdle this guy. I was like, all right, next play, hurdles him. So he's a gritty dude just from that experience, and obviously his stats from last year. But, LJ's a gritty dude too, and that dude works hard, works harder than anyone I know here or anywhere else I've been to, and he's been working a lot. And just watch him on the field, man, he's a quick, speedy guy, and and it's going to be fun to watch. So I'm pretty excited about that. So I would say, I don't know, they're both my boys.
Sure.
Absolutely. It's a hard question.
Yeah.
But, yeah, LJ's a dog for sure.
You have a freshman quarterback making his first career start, and you'll obviously be helping protect him. What's been your interaction with Bear? What was your reaction when he was named the starting quarterback?
Interaction with Bear, when he first got here, I was like, oh, your name is Bear. That's cool.
Okay.
But, yeah, it's just been normal, how it's a process. So you talk to you talk to everyone the same. So it was good. I don't really think of him being a freshman. I just see what he does on the field, and I'm not the one who makes those decisions, so that's good for me because that's a hard decision to make. And I trust in everybody, and I'm cool with every quarterback. They're all awesome. They all can play ball, and obviously Bear, QB1, pretty cool. And yeah, I don't. What's the other question?
Well, I was just gonna say, in terms of his personality, because I know Tiger's speaking to the media right now, and I've heard so much about Tiger and his time at Stanford. He speaks Chinese. He's a computer science.
Oh yeah,
grad.
Bear's like a guitar guy. Loves to sing and stuff. Or I don't know.
Well, he told the media that. He said, I like to play the guitar. He said wagon wheel apparently.
No, he's a cool guy.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. They're all the quarterbacks all have their own things.
Yeah.
It's it's awesome.
Is there a unique characteristic about him as a player that you've been impressed with?
Just his ability to adapt as a freshman. Because obviously the level of play is a lot faster, and him coming into this high level of a program and being able to do what he does, that's obviously impressive because we were all freshmen once, and bullets are a lot faster up here. So,
what are you looking forward to most about being on the home side of things at LaVell Edwards Stadium on Saturday?
Obviously, atmosphere.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to be in the see how the process of this level of football, the FBS level of game days, and just being able to lock in. Because at the end of the day, it's kind of the same thing. You prep in the locker room and get ready on the field, no matter who's out there. It could be 5 people, it could be 60,000 people, but it's all about you versus the guy against you. So it doesn't really it's awesome, but you can't get too hung up on that because it could get you. So
A little quieter on offense, though, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Kyle, thanks for the time, man.
Yeah, no problem.
A big thank you to Kyle Sfarcioc, and he's obviously going to be operating in a much quieter environment than when he did playing for Southern Utah, because we all know that LaVell Edwards Stadium, when it gets absolutely rocking, there are very few places like it. The sound reverberates off the aluminum bleachers, and it gets it's a cacophony of noise. I've used that term on this podcast. I hear a lot of people use that term, but that's exactly what LES is when it's absolutely hopping, and very much looking forward to that being an impact for Portland State when they have to deal with that on Saturday evening. But more importantly than that, I think Kyle Sfarcioc's got a very, very keen sense of who he is as a player, but more importantly, what his role is with this BYU football program. Yeah, he probably came in hoping to be a starting offensive lineman, and that very well may end up being the case, but he's had to battle for everything he has been given so far at BYU, and you can tell that his mindset is, I just want to play football. Give me the chance. So I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to seeing him and the rest of the BYU offensive line doing their thing in front of guys like LJ Martin and Bear Bachmeier on Saturday night, and hopefully a handful of other, if not multiple other players in terms of backups, 3s and 4s, as this game hopefully will be out of hand at some point.